Hey, man.
Yes, with a red shirt team.
That's right. It's family day, red shirt day. How's it going, buddy?
Not bad at all, Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
Good family day. No school, I assume. No work.
Yeah, no school, no work. I got in some new brackets for my monitors. So instead of having them on their base, now I have them hovered up. I'm getting used to the fact that I've got one, like they're 24-inch monitors, like two of them, and I have one that's vertical. It's going to take me a little bit of getting used to.
Is that for a work? Is that a work reason, or is it? Best orientation. Folks, if you've got dual monitor setups, let us know how you have it set up.
Yeah, because I would have them like this. No, you know what it was? I was getting tired of like the way that the email was set. I thought, you know what, I'm going to try having it so I can read. So it's this way. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see how it goes. Listen. Here's the weird thing about me, right? Is I try these things and I'm like, but then I don't have now a clear view of in front of me. Like now I've got it's like this, right? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, it's throwing me off.
I feel like you're gonna need, I think 3 monitors is the ideal setup.
Well, I actually have a 24-inch TV right next to me as well.
That's fantastic. I switched to like using dual monitors at home during the pandemic, and now I can't live without it, so much so that it's not working right now. It's pissing me off to no end. But it does help when you have to, do multiple tasks on multiple screens. And it's nice to have, when you don't need to do that, have your Netflix or whatever going on in the second monitor.
Right. Well, yeah, I have, like I said, this, and now I actually want to see, here's the thing. And I know people are like, well, who cares? But I was actually going to use the other 24-inch TV or something different. And I was going to mount another television in front while I was working because I got these.
You just want everything on the wall. Like, do you remember the first time you saw a really cool multiple monitor setup? I think it was that stupid movie with John Travolta and Hugh Jackman called Swordfish.
Yes.
And Hugh Jackman is like a hacker.
Yeah.
And they have like all these monitors. And that was the first time I think I remember as a kid going, you know how cool it would be to have multiple monitors, even though we didn't do anything. We were using like ICQ and freaking MIRC and Asian Avenue and MySpace and silly stuff like that.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for joining us. You have joined the Sidekick Show. I see a lot of people in the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up, Lewis? What's up, Michelle? I see Michelle in there. How you doing? I see Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? We saw Uncharted together the other day. That was a blast. What's up, Jacob? Jacob's mentioning Last Action Hero. We did discuss Last Action Hero.
And it didn't do very well. For those wondering, we are going to review Uncharted. So that will be on next week's show. We'll give people an opportunity to go and check it out. But if you're wondering who the hell the talking heads are, this guy over here is John Ho. One of the owners of Heroes World out in Markham. And I'm his Caucasian sidekick, Rob.
Nice. Well put. Thanks. Well put.
Yeah, you always need to have one, John, and I fill that role for you.
All right, cool. So if you're joining us live, welcome to the chat. Have some fun. We're definitely gonna be checking in with you guys and asking you your opinions and things like that when we get to our movies today. If you're checking this out on the replay, please join us on the live show. It's every Monday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 5:15 Pacific Standard if you're in the other time zone. But join in. We love to hear from you and get your input on these things that we discuss. So what we usually kick off the show with is I'll show you some new stuff. Either we're getting at the store or just cool things I want you to see. And then Rob will hit you up with the news.
2 years. 2 years trying to figure it out. Scott wants to know if we were practicing our pointing. It's been 2 years.
I have a Post-it on my computer that says point this way.
I just have to remember I have to point towards where this bookcase is. But the problem is, see, it looks this way. So actually I have to remember to like bend my wrist the opposite way so it looks like I'm pointing at you.
What's up, Steve? Yeah, and then what did I say? Rob's going to hit you with the news. We're going to talk a little bit about the podcast if we did any previously. And then we're going to dive into our 90s action movie bracket and kind of finish that off. And then we got a cool announcement for what we're going to be doing next week, and hope you guys will join us for that one as well. So, Rob, you want to see some cool stuff?
I do. Okay. Can I just say, John, look at over my shoulder here. Look at that.
Oh, look at the crow. Look at the crow illuminated. We got a brand new crow statue where he's
I know, and that's why I brought it up.
Rooftop.
I don't know if are you showing it today?
No, I forgot. I should pull I should pull pictures of stuff that I just got in stock. So I'll work on that next time. I picked some other themed stuff so we can have some fun with. But the brand new crow statue of similar price, around the $50-$60 range. Really nice piece. Diamond selected, or I think Diamond Select is really killing it with affordability / high quality products lately. Sorry, Lewis. I'm slacking. I should be showing off stuff that we have in stock. But I wanted to show you guys something else because a bunch of things dropped at the same time. So, Rob, where are we going to go? We're going to go back to the future. All right. Whoa! So we've got a bunch of Back to the Future products. Gigawatts. So first off, before I show off the Back to the Future products, which is your favorite Back to the Future movie?
Oh boy, you know what? Like I really like 2, but I'm going to have to go with number 1. Number 1 for me is The Bomb.
Yeah. Young me wants to say 2 because they do all the futuristic crazy stuff, but I haven't watched it in some time. I have rewatched the first one and it's still great. Oh yeah, huge fan following, and as you'll see, I'm going to show you some pictures of some cool stuff coming out. Still very hot in the kind of a merchandise market as well. If you guys got a favorite that is not number 1, let us know. I'm interested. Do you think 3 is as bad as people say it is now? I haven't watched it in a million years.
I saw it a while ago. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like unanimously number 1 is considered the best. But let's show you let me show you the products.
What you got?
So we got a brand new Iron Studios is doing a 1/10 scale DeLorean from Back to the Future
3.
Is it called? Is it Time Goes West or something like that? Or
it's just called Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh really? I thought it had a weird subtitle, like the Wild West or something like that.
No, that was
they're doing
Will Smith
this. We should watch that.
No,
maybe it got better with time.
No, watching that. No.
Oh, Michelle says she's like 3 better than 2. I thought 3 was unanimously or universally considered the worst one, but maybe she's right. I kind of remember enjoying 3, but I really haven't watched 2 and 3 in a long time. So this is an absolutely beautiful piece. Iron Studios is really killing it with 1/10 scale statues lately. Like they have a whole bunch. I'm gonna have to. If I do this again next week, I'm going to have like a whole screen filled with all the new 1/10 scale stuff they're working on. So this is a very cool DeLorean. You can see it there in front of that. We don't know who that guy is because he has no head. But just call him says, Mark. 12. It says about 12 inches in height and 22 inches in width. So it's a really cool piece. The DeLorean will be available separately, or you can get a special edition that comes with Doc and Marty.
Wow.
Or you can buy Doc and Marty completely separate. So if you're really a big Doc fan and you just want to have a Doc in your collection, you could do that. But it does look like the door is open and it is kind of all kind of aged and weathered and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see this in person.
Look at the hoverboard in the inside. Wow.
Yeah. That's cool. Like right up on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Did you ever think hoverboards, like there was this rumor when we were kids. So shout out to all the guys and gals that are around the same age as us. There was a rumor that hoverboards were real and that parents were outraged at the idea of this coming out and got them banned. That was the story when I was a kid. Every kid would be like, they're real, but parents didn't like them and they're not coming out.
Yeah.
Do you think that has
Mattel was forced to pull it off the shelves? And I remember reading oh guys, we're going to get these hoverboards. They're coming soon. And people in Starlog magazine were all hyped up. We're going to get these hoverboards.
Do you think it had any substantial?
No, if you actually watch the special features on the most recent Blu-ray releases, they were like, it was a rumor that got started, and there was never ever any hoverboards. So. Now the technology exists. I think you can see some videos of Tony Hawk riding around on a hoverboard. So check that out. Now the technology is here, but we'll see if we ever own it. And then I'm going to show you another piece. So this is the Doc and Marty separately. So pretty cool. Marty in the big poncho. And then we have this. So another DeLorean. That's
from Hot Toys.
Wow, really?
So this is a 1/6 scale DeLorean, and you can see in here it is in its Back to the Future 2 mode with its kind of hovering. And you do have the option of putting it with the wheels down.
Wow.
So this is an incredible, like, what an age we are living in that we get kind of like stuff like this. So really cool. It definitely has LED lights. You can kind of see in the picture there. I didn't grab the details on that. But you can see everything kind of like looks like it lights up.
Yeah.
They have done Batmobiles. I think they have done a DeLorean before. So this is the first time I think they're doing the ones with the wheels that go out. So you're going to put it on a flight stand. And you can see all the kind of like accessories it has and things like that. And you're going to be able to put your other 1/6 scale figures. I hope they fit inside. Sometimes it's a little tight, but you could take other figures. I don't know if you would want to do a mashup of some of your Avengers Endgame guys, or you could put Brandon Lee's The Crow if you have that figure in there. I was trying to see if they're going to reprint these two figures, the Doc and Marty. I didn't see any listing, but maybe they will. Sometimes that happens when they release a kind of expensive item like this. So
when is this coming out?
Let me. I don't know. Actually, I forgot to pull the date.
Did you pull the prices?
Yeah, but I did pull the prices. So I'm going to play a game with you, Rob. So we're going to play some prices right here. So I've got some prices on the board here. So let's look at these here. And I want you to tell me which price do you think goes with which item. So I think this was a game they used to play, and you had to get all of them right. Otherwise,
so right? I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm going to go $29.25.
Yeah,
is with Doc and Marty.
Doc and Marty. Okay.
Yep. I'm going to say $1,100 for the Back to the Future 3 DeLorean on its own.
Yeah.
And then $2,700 for the Hot Toys DeLorean.
Okay. All right, so that's a good mix, folks. If you've got your answers, if you're playing along at home, lock in your answers now. We're gonna see if Rob wins. Nothing. We got nothing for you, Rob. But respect. You'll win the respect. So let's see here. Let's go. Document. Oh, look at that. I should pull some sound effects. All right, what do you want to see next? Do you want to see DeLorean alone, or?
Well, they're both alone. So let's go back to Future Part 3. Let's
Part 3. Okay.
That. Oh boy!
All right, there we go.
Oh, dirty!
You get no respect. But yeah.
Wow.
Pretty big. So Iron Studios, definitely that is an expensive piece. I don't know if it's the weathering or maybe it's got some crazy weight to it, because it is technically a smaller scale than the Hot Toys.
I'm very surprised.
But maybe Hot Toys has just figured out a way to produce this this DeLorean at a cheaper price. But all right, thanks for playing, Rob. We'll have you on again next time.
Okay, see ya.
For you, we've got a brand new copy of the Back to the Future board game. You can take home and play and race against time in the first movie and try to save the day. If you're interested in this game, let me know. I do have this in stock right now. So Rob, I'll kick it to you. Thanks everybody for sticking with us in the comments. I'll try and keep coming up with fun games for us to play.
oh boy, so we're jumping right into news, are we? Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you just if you missed the top of the show, it's the Heroes World Sidekick Show. A few things we're going to talk about quickly. The Heroes World podcast dropped on the weekend, and Stu, myself, and my buddy John over here, we reviewed Peacemaker, the finale, episode 8. The finale, and we obviously discussed the fact there's a second season coming out. It's me in the news as well, so you can check that out. We also did a season, like kind of an overall season review of Reacher, which is currently on Amazon Prime TV. So if you haven't checked out Reacher, I would highly recommend you check it out. It's also 8 episodes, and the three of us give our thoughts on the season as a whole. We don't break down each episode, but as a whole, it's about 45 minutes. So it's a nice little addendum to this series if you haven't seen it as of yet. So definitely tune in for that on the YouTube channels as well. We will be doing our Uncharted review coming up in the next few days or by next weekend. So if you haven't seen it and you have an opportunity to see it this week, you can check out our review in the next few days. And then today we have got a lot of stuff going on. We're actually going to be closing out this 90s bracket, and you might be thinking, wait, what? But we are this for the first half. We got something pretty cool to do next week. Take a bit of a palate cleanser, shall we say. But before we get into that, we got to get into the news. Oh boy, John.
All right. What
you know
got,
what?
Rob? What's exciting? What's going on?
You know what? Here's the thing about the news is that there was a lot of things that were dropping. I was just trying to find the stuff to kind of throw in. So we don't hit everything. Let us know in the chat if there's anything of interest that you saw in the news. But hey, John. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Rob.
Remember how when we were watching and reviewing Peacemaker, and you said that your favorite scene was when Peacemaker was in his tighty whities singing and dancing? Do you remember
I'm surprised we only got one scene of that.
Well, hey, good news, my friend. Because right before the season finale, which we had just reviewed and I just spoke about, HBO Max greenlit a second season of the hugely popular series. So now I'm going to assume we didn't really. We just kind of briefly mentioned it in our review, but I'm going to make the assumption, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're quite excited for season 2 of Peacemaker.
Yeah. Unexpected smash hit for this year. Like it's going to be interesting when we get to the end of 2022, Rob, when we count down our favorite shows. I don't know if this is not going to be on there. You know what I mean? It was just so much fun. I feel like it over delivered, and just watching everybody's performance. Like, have you started a second watch through of this yet, Rob?
I haven't, but I really want to. I feel like there's other things I have to watch right now. But I do want to. It's like, it might be one of those things I'm going to throw it on like in the evenings before bed. I just need something kind of like a little lighthearted, and just because the one thing we did talk about, there's lots of jokes we've probably missed in our first watch through.
Oh,
right?
man, yeah. I've started rewatching it, and there's a lot of jokes that they kind of set up, and then they continue and either cycle back or just make like a reference to. So Scott says he doesn't know if you could pick between Reacher and Peacemaker. Both great shows. I think I would pick Peacemaker right now because it's more of enjoy individual episodes, whereas Reacher is a nice big payoff for an overarching story right now. But
well, if you put both of them together, you go pretty fast, John, because that's a high octane RPM.
Yeah.
No, okay.
No, sorry.
You didn't get the joke. You didn't get the joke.
Someone just came in the door.
Reacher, Peacemaker. Okay.
Oh,
hey,
nice.
John. Remember when you said that your most anticipated show of 2022 was Halo?
Did I?
Well, as we discussed a couple weeks back, the series drops.
I don't recall saying this ever.
The series drops on March 20. I like how you dispute that, but you didn't dispute the fact that Peacemaker and his tidy whities wasn't your favorite scene.
I'm not going to say it's not my favorite scene, but it's a fun scene.
The series Halo drops March 24th on the Paramount Plus network in both the US and Canada. Now, even before season 1 started, word came down that Paramount had ordered a second season of Master Chief and his crazy hijinks. So, John, are you stoked for Halo? We are, what day is it today? The 21st. So we are just shy of a month to go for Halo TV.
I haven't watched the trailer, actually. I haven't watched the trailer. I am interested, though. I'm interested. I saw some people in our chat talking about there's a lot of things story-wise that are not lining up with the game. And I think this is going to come up when we talk Uncharted, whereas I don't really play these games for the story. I usually dive straight into multiplayer, and I just want to play those mechanics. So we'll see what the difference is, because I think you are a hardcore Halo guy now, or somewhat.
I was. Yeah,
But you're typically into the story for these video games. Same with I think Uncharted when we get to Uncharted. So it's going to be interesting to hear the difference of someone who just doesn't give two shits about the story versus people who have played the story mode. You know what I mean? But cool. Yeah, it's cool that they greenlit season 2, though. Are you okay with that?
I think they have to. I think there's so much money invested in building of the sets and of the like the vehicle, like the warthogs and all that stuff. Like they probably economically it made sense that they would have to greenlight season 2. So sure, go right ahead. They probably have. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't start filming it pretty soon, to be honest with you. So. In addition to Halo 2 season 2, Paramount also announced a third Sonic movie. The second one doesn't come out until April. Plus a Knuckles TV series where the character will be voiced by Idris Elba as he is in the upcoming movie. They also announced a third movie in the A Quiet Place franchise, which I know Andre is overly psyched about. So it was good news on that day for Andre. Hey, John. You know how like Uncharted came out in theaters this past weekend, and some people have said the movie has a bit of an Indiana Jones flair in it. Well, as you know, for the better part of the last year and a half or so, they've been working on a fifth Indiana Jones movie. And word came through actually this afternoon that there was roughly a month left of filming of this movie. This is like a Stanley Kubrick movie where they're going to take 2 years. Now, the fifth movie sees Harrison Ford return in the title role, but the movie is not being directed by Spielberg this time. It's instead being helmed by James Mangold of Logan fame, and of course a whole bunch of others like Walk the Line, and but we would know him in his inner geek circles as the Wolverine and Logan.
Logan, who played an old, like it was an aged up version of Hugh Jackman. Now Harrison Ford. How old is Harrison Ford now? You said he was headliner of this movie, right? So
yeah,
it's
he's
not,
in his 70s.
It's not a handoff to another younger character or a side character. That's
so
this crazy. Yeah.
My question. So in this day and age of reboots and remakes, John, are you excited for a fifth Indiana Jones movie, or do you just think it's
no? So this came up when we were doing our 80s things. I've never been an Indiana Jones guy, so I am not excited. I do, however, quite like Harrison Ford. I think he was one of the best parts of Force Awakens. If you have to try and pick best parts of that movie out. I am concerned though. He is a little bit older, and we've seen what happens when they kind of put those type of people into leading roles.
Those type of people. Do you mean geriatric individuals?
I wouldn't say geriatric, but you're putting more aged actors into their old action roles, and unfortunately, it hasn't seemed to pay off too much lately. So I don't know. I'll definitely give it a try. He's charming as hell still in his 70s. So.
Get off my lawn. All right. A couple quick hits here, John. As you know, The Last of Us, talking about video game movies, has been filming out in Alberta. And it was hoped that the show would premiere this year, but it appears we're going to have to wait just a bit longer, John, as the HBO boss has stated, despite the show filming since last summer, it won't drop until sometime in 2023. Street Fighter fans were excited when they woke this morning to a teaser of Street Fighter 6. Now, Capcom released the teaser showing Ryu and what we think is Luke about to throw down. Now, Capcom hasn't advised when Street Fighter 6 will be released. So do we want to play the guessing game of 2025, John?
I feel like it's going to be a ways out. It usually takes a long time to develop fighting games like this. And this is our first hint of it being confirmed. They just wrapped up that season pass. So that Luke character that appears in the trailer is like brand new. Barely people even know him. So me being a big Street Fighter head, I'm not even going to get excited yet because it's not even close to coming out. So 2025. Yeah, I think you're right on the money, Rob. It's going to be a while.
We've talked about the Fallout TV series that will be on Amazon in the next couple of years, and it was announced that Shane Mandrell himself, Walter Goggins, will be starring.
Shane Mandrell,
will be starring in the show. His exact character remains a mystery. However, there is some speculation, John, that he'll be playing a ghoul. All right. And finally, John, as you know, the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series is dropping on Disney Plus in May, and a familiar face is going to be joining the series. The iconic John Williams will be scoring the TV series. He's coming back to do this. Thus far, he has scored all 9 Star Wars movies and now the show. So it'll be interesting to see if this will be the final Star Wars property that he does. I'm not sure. But with that, John, it's the end of the news.
That's the end of the news. That's a big bombshell, isn't that? That's a big deal, right?
I think a lot of people are very happy.
Because we've mentioned that the music in the Star Wars, the Mandalorian had its own complete soundtrack. Book of Boba Fett has its kind of funky, different soundtrack, which actually grew on me. I didn't mind that song towards the end. But they finally, I feel like they did play a little bit of the John Williams Force theme and stuff like that when Luke last appeared. But it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Lewis said Top Gun 2 is going to be out when the pandemic is over. That's funny. Actually, they did say though it's supposed to be out in May. I don't have the exact date. I want to say the 17th or the 7th, one or the other. I'm not going to strip without my clothing. I don't know.
Do not click whatever that link is. Or I don't know.
Although that's
don't read into the emojis.
See, what happened was Gord clicked that link a few weeks ago, and we haven't seen him since.
Gord!
Oh! They released him. He's literally been.
Is Gord actually Love Face XYZ? online.
He might be. Yeah. So John, listen, man, it's 8:40. We are both wearing red t-shirts in honor of Family Day. I don't know.
Is
so
red
weird.
t-shirt the Family Day color?
Are you also not wearing boxers? So so we might as well just roll into our bracket.
Okay. So let me pop it on the screen.
Okay.
You want to quickly intro this, what we're doing here?
So, listen, we've been doing for the last number of weeks. We've been doing trying to figure out what is the greatest '90s action movie, and we've obviously had to narrow it down by half the decade. So we did 1990 to 1994. If you're wondering where the hell Terminator 2 is as a 1991 release, there are like juggernauts that are they are the Thanos snap of the rest of the movie. So we had to kind of remove that one, and there's another one in the next bracket that will be coming up in a few weeks. So we started off with well, listen, I don't need to go through the whole entire list, but right now we are down to the semifinals.
Well, any regrets? Anything you wish you had sent through differently that would have worked out differently from that first round?
I actually do wonder how the Last Boy Scout would have done up against Demolition Man.
I think it still would have lost, but I think it would have been maybe a little more interesting to give that movie a little more attention.
Yeah, I think the way that it's all kind of set up. I mean, also listen, Speed versus Time Cop. I mean, we talked about Time Cop. Sorry, Leon versus Time Cop. Leon's just a very different. Like, if you look at all of these movies, Leon it definitely stands out from all of these. Right?
It's like its own. It's like its own category, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I'm actually happy it won that matchup. Like, Time Cop did not stand up as well as I thought.
No, I agree. But I'm just, when you look at this is just, it's like one of these things, not like the other. Leon just definitely is not like the rest of the movies in this bracket. And maybe that's something that we'll have to talk about tonight, because we are going to finalize this bracket. We're going to discuss the semifinals between Point Break, Under Siege. They'll go up against the winner of Speed versus Leon, the Professional. And then whoever between one of those four will go up against True Lies, and we'll find out who is the early 90s action movie winner for this bracket. So John, listen, we did Point Break and Speed about a year or so ago, right?
Yes.
We did a Keanu Reeves.
We did rundown. Like a Keanu Reeves-a-thon. So both movies, they're still so good. I know we just rewatched them not too long ago, but I was absolutely fine putting them back on. I didn't watch them in their entirety. I kind of like flipped through it just because time constraints during the holiday. But what is going on?
Well, okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay, so can you bring up the bracket again? What's the What's the first one? The first one is Point Break versus Under Siege. It is Point
Break versus Under Siege.
Okay, so you know what? We just did the Under Siege. Like, so let me just do a rundown of Point Break, since we didn't obviously watch it during this bracket. All right, because this is a really funny thing. I said to John, I sent him a text today. I go, "Hey, bud. There's no point in me doing a rundown, gathering info on Speed and Point Break, because we just did them like less than a year ago." And he responds back with, no. Some of our regulars haven't seen Point Break before. And this is going to be their first time, which shocks me to no end. So if you've never seen Point Break, I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like that's something that you were supposed to, it should be part of your growing up, your DNA, but here we are.
Oh, no, I can understand why some people missed it. I think I never saw it originally around the time it came out. I discovered it much later on. So I think you could have just missed it.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus. Michelle. All right.
Michelle said she's never seen Point Break. Yeah. What the heck? All right. Well, hey, Michelle, guess what? Point Break released July 12th, 1991. The movie directed by Catherine Bigelow, who was the first woman to win an Oscar for The Hurt Locker, John. This movie is starring Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, Lori Petty, and Gary Busey, which these names have come up in a lot of our 90s movies. The movie had a $24 million budget and grossed $83.5 million at the box office. Now, originally, this movie was about to go into production way back in 1986, with Ridley Scott directing, and the role of Johnny Utah, John, was going to go to one of these fellas, all right? Matthew Broderick, Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Val Kilmer.
No.
Or Charlie Sheen.
Get out of town.
I shall not. However, production fell through and the project was obviously shelved. Now,
I can see Johnny Depp because of 21 Jump Street. he
Right.
basically would play he played an
same
undercover
character.
cop. But yeah, everyone else does not make any sense to me at all.
Now the original title of this movie, John, was Riders of the Storm, which are
That's kind of dope.
Well, it's taken from lyrics of a song by The Doors. However, they decided, you know what, it has nothing to do with that song, so let's just switch it and we'll call it Point Break. The movie debuted at number 2 in its opening weekend, John, behind a little known movie called T2 Judgment Day, which
Never heard of it.
No, which, as you know, John, was directed. That movie was directed by Catherine Bigelow's husband, James Cameron. Yeah, they soon split afterwards. Maybe animosity between having the number 1 and number 2 movie in July. The movie has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 69, dude, and 79 audience approval. So, John, does Point Break deserve to be considered on the 90s greatest action movie list?
Okay, I think Point Break wins hands down.
You're dumb.
Just because the cast is so good and the interactions between them. Under Siege doesn't have that. Under Siege has a nice plot that fits into this action movie kind of feel, and it does have a main character that is very like he's almost Jack Reacher before there was a Jack Reacher kind of, you know, the strong silent type giant guy that just smashes everything to bits, right? But the interactions between all the characters, like Keanu Reeves and Gary Busey, even John C. McGinley at the beginning, the crazy chief, and then once Keanu and Patrick Swayze start mixing it up, it's just magic. So I don't know. My thoughts are that Point Break is overall better movie, but you know, this is what this is. That's why we do this. So you guys in the chat, looks like you guys really like Under Siege. I want Rob to really kind of iterate. I'm actually surprised. I thought Rob, upon rewatching Point Break, he'd be like, no, there's a hell of more magic.
So let me
in this movie, and so many movies became, but Under Siege is Die Hard, right? Point Break is one of the originators. So Fast and the Furious is Point Break with cars. They actually did a remake of Point Break. We're not going to talk about that one. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rob. Why would you choose Under Siege?
Here's what this is not me abdicating that Under Siege is a better overall movie than Point Break. It's gonna be, you're gonna be like, wait, that makes no sense. Why would you want Under Siege to go through if it's not a better overall movie? I think Point Break is a lot more. It has probably a higher rewatchability. Like it's cool, it's fun, but as an action movie, as a pure action movie, there's way more action in the Under Siege movie than there is in Point Break. Like I think Point Break is. It fleshes out its character developments way better. I think that again, it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more poppy. It's more in your face. It's flashy. You fall for, Patrick Stewart. He's not a bad guy because you're rooting for the bad guy at point. And it takes a special, character to be able, or an actor to be able to make you want to essentially root for the bad guys. But when you flip comparative to Under Siege, where it is a standard good guy versus bad guy, there's the whole plot of, taking over to essentially to gain control of the nuclear weapons and hold the world hostage. And then you see the amount of bullets and carnage that happen on this ship. You've got the ex-Navy SEAL Casey Ryback, who's the chef. Look at Gary Busey's performance in both of these movies. Nothing to be taken away, but he's way crazier in Under Siege. It actually helps.
I think he's much more charming in Point Break, though.
Yeah, charming is one thing. Yeah, I agree.
Two,
right?
you talk. Give me two.
Right, he is. He's funny, but he's completely like psychotic in Under Siege, which really helps elevate the villainous aspect of Under Siege. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think that like Tommy Lee Jones is unhinged. Gary Busey is obviously unhinged. Patrick Swayze wasn't unhinged. He was like a modern day Robin Hood, right? Except he was kind of keeping it for himself, but because he didn't believe in governance. He didn't believe in governments. He didn't believe in any of that stuff, which is somewhat a relatable theme as of late with some individuals. So, but I just really think that Under Siege as an action movie with guns and fighting and knife fights and explosions That's all in Under Siege. You don't get a lot of that. If you really think about the action scenes per se in Point Break, it's the raid on the house, and that's really the biggest action scene, like in terms of action. I still say Point Break is an overall better movie, but
okay, I can roll with you on that, and I can accept the fact that Point Break is a milestone in action movies, but maybe it's not going to win this particular fight. I just want to address this quick question from Gordon here, which is how much did Fast and the Furious rip off of Point Break? A hell of a lot, so much so that they paid tribute to Point Break in one of the scenes in Fast and Furious. They go to, I think, the same shrimp bar or something like that. That was featured in Point Break. And Paul Walker, when his career first started, he was basically like a carbon copy of Keanu Reeves, the surfer style, like especially this movie here. And I'm a big Paul Walker fan. He kind of started to shake that off later on, but he was kind of the same kind of attitude and feel. But we'll see if Fast and the Furious pops up again in our charts. Okay, so it looks like most of the people.
I didn't take a look out of the what people were saying. All right, so see that Fraser says he loves Point Break, but Under Siege is the better action movie. I know that Jonathan said Under Siege.
I think most of the ones that I saw go by were basically everyone was for Under Siege, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. We've got another Keanu Reeves movie coming up.
Oh, did I say Patrick Stewart? You know why I had
Patrick Stewart would be the dopest recast ever.
I know why I had him in my head when we were talking about old guys doing movies, and we're talking about Harrison Ford, and I was like, they're just dragging Patrick Stewart out of his recliner.
Is Patrick Stewart younger than Harrison Ford?
I don't think so. I think they are both
they're both of the same age, but Patrick Stewart was not the star of Logan, right? He was a side character that, spoiler alert, does not make it through the whole movie.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look. Patrick Stewart. How old is Patrick Stewart?
But how dope would Patrick Stewart on a surfboard be? Would that have been his Next Generation era when Point Break came out? Yeah, that would have been the dopest shit ever. I could see it.
Harrison Ford is 79 years old right now, John. Patrick Stewart is 81. So yeah, they were in the same high school. They were like they were close friends.
So it's good. This Indiana Jones movie has got me interested now because I want to see exactly how they're going to play this. Oh yeah, so look at this. Lewis already got the facts for us here.
There we go.
But yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, man.
I was like, what are they talking about Patrick Stewart? I'm like, oh yeah, you did say Patrick Stewart. All right. Anyways,
whatever.
Let's reverse the roles. Let's give Patrick Swayze captain of the Enterprise. And Patrick Swayze as Jean-Luc Picard.
No, Patrick Stewart is Roadhouse.
Oh man, there's a restaurant in my area that's called Something's Roadhouse. So shout out to Roadhouse. We talked about it in our 80s action movies, and I don't want to check it out just because I feel like they're ripping off yeah. All right, so I think we are going to be sending I'm not happy with it, but you know what? This is what we do. This is why we do this. Under Siege is going to win this one, and this is all for fun, folks. So if this is what the people want, Rob, this is what the people want. The people's movie. And if you're upset that this happened, then you should have joined us during the live show and made your voice heard.
Yeah, if you're sitting there like working away when you have your earbuds in going, this is bullshit, as John said, join us next time. So that brings us to our next match off, which is Speed versus Leon the Professional. And obviously we did the same thing with Leon that we did with Under Siege. We don't need to do a rundown because we just watched it, but I'm going to do a rundown, John, of Speed. Released.
I love hearing about Speed.
There you go, buddy. Released June 10th, 1994. The movie is directed by Jan de Bont, who was a cinematographer of numerous movies, John, including Black Rain, Basic Instinct, and Die Hard, to name but a few. Speed marks his first directing effort, starring Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper, Jeff Daniels, and Joe Morton. I have to throw him in there because he's our guy who helped build Skynet. The budget was $35 million and grossed a whopping $350 million at the box office.
Yes.
The movie was initially titled Minimum Speed. But the writer
get out of town.
The writer
is the worst title on the face of the planet.
The writer is Canadian Graham Yost. You might remember his dad was L.Y. Yost, who used to do those things on TVO on Saturday nights. We'd watch the old movies. He thought better of it, and he dropped the minimum part, which I think was probably a very good idea. Speaking of writing, John, a week before production started, DeBont brought in Joss Whedon to help write and punch up the dialogue on the script. And he was the one who came up with the famous pop quiz hotshot line that has burrowed itself into pop culture lexicon. Now, here's something funny for you, John. Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, Wesley Snipes, and Woody Harrelson were all considered for the role that eventually went to Keanu after Jan DeBont saw Keanu in Point Break.
Point Break.
Yeah. The movie was not only a box office smash, but also a critical one with a Rotten Tomatoes score currently at 94%, but weirdly enough, a lower audience score of 76%. That being said, it has over 250,000 audience score reviews. Keanu really came into his action status in the 90s, and he would continue to dominate the 90s and close it out with a little indie movie called The Matrix. Pop quiz, John. You're on a desert, and you can only save one Keanu movie. Is it Point Break or is it Speed? What do you do, John? What do you do?
Oh, man. Past me would actually go for Speed 100%, but my appreciation
you mean the movie
for
and not like the drug, right?
Yeah. Well, you can have both, I guess. I feel like it's not a good combination.
I don't know how speed on speed would be, but all right.
When you're starving.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really, really close. I feel like I really like his some of the stuff that he did in Speed. I've mentioned one of my favorite scenes is when he's like, "I'm not a cop anymore. I'm putting my gun away." Like that. We're just two cool guys on a bus or something like that. But yeah, everyone's gonna complain about the physics.
Yeah, but they're going to say, listen, if we can accept it in any of these Fast and the Furious movies, we have to accept it as Speed, right?
Yeah. There was another 90s movie that was called Maximum something, Rob. Do you remember
Maximum Overdrive. Was it Maximum? Oh, Maximum Overdrive was in the 80s.
No, it was starring my guy.
Yeah, Van Damme. Yeah, Maximum... Maximum
and your girl, Natasha Henstridge, I think.
Maximum Force, I don't remember what is it.
No, anyone know in the comments? Van Damme's vehicle with I'm pretty sure it was Natasha Henstridge. It was directed by an Asian director as well. One of the Hong Kong directors came over. I want to say it was like Corey Yoon or something like that. Maximum Risk.
Maximum Risk. Oh,
I don't remember. I don't remember a lick of it.
Yeah.
I don't remember how the title factored in.
Maximum Risk. All right. So let's get into it, John. We got Speed. We've got The Professional. I'm going to put up somebody's comment.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Jonathan.
I feel like I know where this is going.
And he reiterates, essentially, it's the same argument that I had made with respect to the last movies we just discussed, Under Siege and Point Break. Jonathan says Speed is a better action movie. Leon is a better movie.
Yes. So can I ask everyone to keep this in mind before we get your official vote? But I feel like I know where it's going anyways, Rob. I think I'm too biased. I just really like these two movies, these two Keanu Reeves movies especially. Yep. I feel like they were very iconic moments in 90s action movies, and especially Speed. A lot of people consider the turning point in the creation of the summer blockbuster. But does that mean it's the best or not or something like that? It doesn't necessarily mean that. It means it's the thing that kind of created this whole idea of releasing this monster hit around the summertime to kind of smash the box office. I would 100% go for Speed. I like Sandy B and Keanu Reeves and Dennis Hopper running around. And I don't know. Leon, again, I never watched it back in the day, so I don't have the additional nostalgia punch up there. So I don't know how does it affect you, Rob? Because I think you did watch Leon back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So does that help?
As we discussed when we first rewatched Leon 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, I really like Leon is a very art house type action movie, right? It's it's in 1994, which was still within that whole change of cinema where you had Tarantino coming in, first with Reservoir Dogs 91, Pulp Fiction, you had the True Romance, you had like a action movies kind of took on a bit more of an artistic flair. It's more of a dramatic movie with action pieces in it. And so I always kind of chalk up Leon into that kind of umbrella of movies. It's gorgeous. The story is so well done. Gary Oldman is phenomenal as the villain. But I can't, as much fun as it is to watch, it's not something you can throw on, in my opinion, any day of the week and just because you need something to watch, right? Like on a shitty Sunday afternoon where it's raining, you can't go and do anything. You've only got 90 minutes or 2 hours. You're going to throw a movie on. You're probably going to throw on Speed because you just want that fun movie to get you through the afternoon. You're not going to get that with Leon, with The Professional, in my opinion. So for me, John, I'm going to back you on this one. I think Speed is the better action movie. Although, interestingly enough, both of these movies are somewhat absent of like proper action. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not the guns.
Speed has the kind of stakes. Like I think someone said in the comments, I think Steve or someone said, yes, Speed just keeps upping the ante. Things just keep happening and you're in this high pressure situation. And it also created the kind of genre where like, oh, it's something on a plane, it's speed on like, that type of thing. But I think I think Michelle said the action scenes in Leon are really good and the gunplay scenes are really good. I don't know if you have a gunplay scene that lines up in Speed. It's more of a combination of everything. It's guns, it's this bus not being able to stop, it's explosions, it's the other team trying to find the bad guy as all this is going on, and things like that. So yeah, I don't know, Rob. I think we're gonna lose though. I think everyone I don't think anyone in the chat, other than I think Kara jumped in. Yeah, look, oh man, look at this. We got Kara in here. She said, oh yeah, Leon is a deep and lovely. You can write essays about it, but when you think action movie, Speed is more the action movie. I think that's very well put, but I think we're gonna lose this one.
Wait, really?
I don't know. Oh, actually, it might be close. Scott's on for Speed. So I don't know if you want to. Do you want to count them up, or do we have someone that can help us count here?
Well, okay. So I know that Michelle is definitely for
Leon. Yeah.
Leon.
She's Leon.
Carrie is Speed.
Speed.
I'm going to say Jonathan is Speed.
He
said
no, I think better. John, oh yeah, he did. He
said Speed's a better action movie. Leon's a better movie. So we're talking about action movies. Fraser said Leon. Oh gosh, I'm trying to go.
It's getting crazy. Here. What's up, Eric? Eric says Leon. I think Jesse says Speed.
You got Scott for Speed.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah says Speed.
Sarah says Speed. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong hand here.
Yeah, okay.
Scott says Speed again. I don't know if we're gonna count this right. If anyone else has time to go through the chat, double check our math here. Okay, I feel like Speed's winning by one.
Speed,
and because it's got us two as well. It's got us two as well.
Speed. Gordon said Speed. I think Speed's gonna take it. I know Michelle. Oh, wow. Yeah, but Michelle has Leon. Eric has Leon. I thought Fraser had Leon.
Yeah.
Steve said Leon, I think, right? So yeah, man, it was pretty close, but
it was close. That was I think that's the most that was the most active vote we had going. Oh man, yeah, we should bring back the fetch. That was fetch. I'm actually surprised. But that's not to say Leon. I think Leon is a pretty good movie. Like for some reason, just something about those characters seems to really resonate with people and stick. Yeah. So shout outs to Leon. I never saw it before. I'm glad I watched it for this. So if that counts for anything, that's something. So let's send Speed through for now. Thank you everybody for participating in that.
That was
Michelle keeps trying to get us on the chat. It's hilarious. so if Rob wasn't paying attention, you would be like 1, 2, 3. Holy crap! Landslide. I think I can tell what one of. I think I know what Michelle's Blu-ray case looks like. It's Speed, Leon, Howard the Duck. And other stuff.
you know what, Luz? We actually did have that last week. Forgot to do it this week. So thanks for calling.
I don't have my dual monitor is not working, so I can't open up another chat. And my wife had my phone up until just now. So all right, let's send this through, and then Rob, you can talk about what's happening next.
Well, we're gonna so we're picking up. We've got now a battle because last week we voted that True Lies trounced Demolition Man to make it into the finals. So we've got a debate between Under Siege and Speed. Which one of these?
I think Speed for sure wins this.
You're out of control. Under Siege totally takes it.
No, Speed. Okay, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock are definitely a better combination than Steven Seagal and random Playboy chick.
And first of all,
that's already one,
and that was from Baywatch. But okay, look at this. I'm gonna start counting up these things. I gotta make a notepad here. Okay.
Rob's gonna turn this into science here.
Okay. 3 for under 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can try
Siege.
And pop in and do the thing. You might notice me leaving the camera here, but let me see. 4 for Under Siege. Nobody is saying Speed. Oh, Carrie says Speed. Well, Carrie. Yeah, I think Under Siege is just a way better action movie than what Speed is. For the reason that you just said, that Speed doesn't have the type of action and gunplay that Leon does. We advance Under Siege over Point Break for that very reason. Michelle votes Speed. Okay. Oh yes.
Okay, wait, Carrie. Are you voting for Speed?
Yeah.
Kari, sorry. Are you voting for Speed or are you voting for Under Siege? Dude, you're throwing me off. Are you voting?
I'm doing it on purpose now.
Or is it Under Siege? We gotta, because otherwise it's.
I threw the poll up, so let's see if that works.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think it's Under Siege is winning by a landslide. This is ridiculous. I got to log into like 3 of my other.
Where did you put it up on? YouTube?
It's on the YouTube channel. So you have to open the YouTube chat. So it's kind of hard.
You put it up. Oh, I gotta make sure. All right.
Rob's gonna get his vote in.
Gord is unfortunately
surprised.
Gord is watching a whole different set of movies. Carrie says she's neutral. You can't be Switzerland in this one. You got to pick a side. No.
What's the Evil Dead poll look like? What's better, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, or Army of Darkness? I don't know. All right, so it's you've told people. So we got 11 votes. That's. Thank you very much, folks. I think that's the highest poll we've ever done. But Under Siege is winning 64% to 36 right now, unless anyone else is going to drop in. I would vote for Speed, but sure. You guys want Under Siege versus True Lies? It makes that decision a lot easier.
Carrie says Under Speed. A movie about driving too slow.
Who would you put in that? Who would you?
That's like the Golden Girls. Oh, my mother.
Yeah. If we could go back in time, would it be the lady from Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
Estelle Getty.
Was that Estelle Getty? That would be great. I would also nominate Pauly Shore. Because because I think he would just be funny. I think he's in that new Pinocchio movie, right?
I have no idea.
I think he's doing the voice for Pinocchio. I saw that recently, and I was like, "What? He's back!"
All right, so
it definitely means Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yes,
I think Under Siege is taking it, John.
That's trash, but okay.
All right, so now, okay, we got to advance it because now we got to get into the final here.
I feel like this makes the final easier though, because if you guys say Under Siege beats True Lies, then that's bonkers.
All right,
we're gonna have to cut the feed.
You're an idiot. Are you adding this to the screen?
Oh yeah, let me add it to the poll because it's hard to count.
Okay, so this is the finale. All right, while John is doing this, this is for all the buckets and the ducats. We are 1990 to 1994. Obviously, I've said it before. We said it again. Terminator 2 was not part of this because that's just the Thanos killer. So this is the finale of this first part of the decade. Which is the better action movie? Is it going to be True Lies, or is it going to be Weasel, or is it going to be Under Siege? And I know that John has the poll up on the YouTube.
The poll is up. Vote, folks. If you dare.
I'm just going to say it right now, John. For me, Under Siege, way better than True Lies.
You're bonkers.
No, because True Lies, I told you this when we were reviewing it a couple weeks ago. True Lies doesn't know what it wants to be. It's
the fact that even though it doesn't know what it wants to be, it is so good at being all the other stuff that it's not. That's a soundbite.
Yeah. So I'm obviously yeah.
You are seriously okay with Under Siege winning this out of all these? Okay, yes, I never would have done this, but again, I'm not a Steven Seagal guy, so but I will admit that none of these Van Damme movies are contenders to win this.
No.
So there's that.
So there's that. I don't know how the poll's going. I just listen, man. I enjoyed True Lies more than I thought I was going because I had only watched it before.
I think you can enjoy parts of it, even though, like, you're right. I think you're 100% right. It's all over the place. The ending, the Harrier jet scene is probably almost on par with the bus
gun
jump
falling
with
down
the jump thing. But at least it's not an outrageous.
It's the Naked Gun. That was taken from the Naked Gun, where the gun is falling down and it's going off. Yes, it's the exact same scene from the Naked Gun. I was like, I cannot believe James Cameron put in a Naked Gun reference in this movie, but all right.
Yeah. Fraser, you guys love this Under Siege. Is Under Siege 2 going to make it on later? Is it part of the last half of 95? Or is that an infinitely worse movie? Looks like True Lies is going to win this.
Wait, I don't get out of here.
It's 60 to 40 right now. 60% to 40%. I'll give it another second here.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. See, Michelle's right. Yeah. Okay, I understand, Michelle.
So it's so funny because it just keeps telling me 50%. I don't have an updated poll results.
You don't? So yeah, I have it. It's 60 to 40 still. 10 votes.
Yeah, it was 10. Well, there's 13 people watching, so we need 3 more people to be voting for Under Siege, which is a much better movie.
I think you question the much better movie part. I'll admit it was fun and it fit the formula for a fun action movie of the early 90s era.
Okay.
I feel like it would get blown out of the water if it showed up if it was 95 or later.
Steve puts out, he says, I will lose faith in humanity if Under Siege wins. Out of everything that's going on right now, that's what's going to make you lose your faith in humanity. Under Siege wins.
11 votes. All right. It's 64 to 36 now for True Lies. I think I'm gonna end the poll there because it's gonna get nutty if we just let this go on. All right, so I'm happy with True Lies winning this. Although I would say it's not super strong. I think
I don't know what
95
I did,
is really gonna blow this out of the water. Oops, did I add this? Okay, there we go. All right, so let me stupid no double screen nonsense. All right, so best of the 90s. So let's end this tournament, and then we're gonna see what happens when we go to the 95 and up. So third place. Sorry, I can't see what's going on at the same time, so I had to switch screens here. So True Lies is the first place, second place Under Siege, third place goes to Demolition Man and Speed tie. I'm happy with everything except for second place. But anyway, how you feel about this, Rob? You must be pretty happy that Under Siege is taking the second spot.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm not chuffed about it at all. I'm just wondering why I got voted off the island. I don't understand what happened. People are apparently voting me off the island. I'm not even on an island.
Rob, your time on the island is
the tribe has spoken.
Right? The tribe has spoken.
Yeah.
You have to leave the island. Do you think they actually immediately left the island, or right as soon as the camera cut, the person just turned around and walked back to the stage, and they're like, "All right, set it back up. We're gonna do a different angle."
Yeah. And try not to look upset about it. Yeah. I think it's fine. Listen, I'm not surprised that True Lies was going to take this part. Again, once we have finished this entire 90s action bracket, we're going to have that conversation with respect to Terminator 2, The Matrix. Like, those are the two movies which is really weird. One was 1991, the other was 1999 that started and ended the decade.
Yeah. The opening, closing, unless we found something in the 90s. But I think Terminator 2 destroys True Lies.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah. So, so that's why when we do 95 to 99, we won't have The Matrix in there for that reason, because it is just an event killer, much like T2 was. But we'll have to have that conversation to see which is the better movie, Terminator 2 or Matrix. Or maybe it's just a black hole, just boom, and they can't coexist. They have to coexist. So
maybe it's Under Siege too.
Yeah. Man, that was a lot of fun. That was I know that you're not happy about Under Siege taking it, but I think you're just more upset because it's a Seagal movie over a Van Damme movie.
No, I don't. I'm fine. That is Seagal at his finest. Like, that is the type of character that he should have just played. He should have just created like a Jack Reacher. Like, I think he tried to, basically. He did, but I guess it just got old or whatever they were doing wasn't clever enough, because he basically played the same character in every single movie I've seen him in. I'm trying to think if there was any movie where he played somebody different.
No, I don't think so. But I do think that Under Siege, though, I had said this before, is I think that Above the Law and Under Siege are probably his two best movies. That being said, some people said not the Glimmer Man. What was the other one we talked about? There was a couple other ones that people really, really liked, like On Deadly Ground.
On Deadly Ground.
They really like that one. And I'm going to have to rewatch that. But much
Fire
like
Down
Van
Below.
Damme.
Is it Fire Down Below?
Fire Down Below was the other one. I think that was his last good one, right?
Funny movie title.
Yeah. Why are you walking funny? Fire Down Below. So listen, I want to say thank everybody for participating in this first part of the 90s action movie bracket. It was a lot of fun. Listen, it always starts off the same, where John and I usually bang our heads because people are complaining that we didn't include their favorite movie. But there's only so many movies that we can go through. But we're going to take a bit of a break before we continue this bracket. There's a huge movie coming out, John, in just over, or I guess just under 2 weeks from now. So on March 4th, The Batman drops, directed by Matt Reeves, with Robert Pattinson, Colin Farrell, Zoe Kravitz, and Paul Dano are in the movie. And to kind of talk about before we get into The Batman, which is the 4th next week,
we're gonna palate cleanser, and it's gonna be a Bring It On movie marathon bracket, right, Rob? Bring It On 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna see which one brought it the best.
Yeah, and
Yeah?
it's going to be brought into the garbage. No, John. On the 28th, next Monday, we are going to be doing a rewind onto what is probably arguably maybe one of the best Batman movies, and maybe one of it's usually within the top 5 best comic book movies. We're going to revisit The Dark Knight, the second entry in the Nolan Batman universe. Christian Bale. And Heath Ledger, who won a posthumous Oscar for his portrayal as the Joker. John,
We should prelude it with 10 Things I Hate About You into Dark Knight.
Yeah, so John has a real affinity for like these teen rom-coms, and I don't understand it.
What's a better movie, folks? 10 Things I Hate About You or First Night with Heath Ledger? I want to say Keith Ledger, but that's a different guy. Heath Ledger. Knight's Tale. Sorry, yeah, not First Night. First Night is that terrible Richard Gere movie that was like a King Arthur thing. Knight's Tale is the one I want to talk about. Yeah, Knight's Tale or 10 Things I Hate About You.
Jonathan, that would never happen, buddy. He's like, I thought Rob was going to say Batman Forever. Hell no. Yeah, no, we're not doing 10 Things with Knight's Tale.
I think we should look at this. I think we should have a showdown. Knight's Tale versus 10 Things.
Get out of here. We are doing The Dark Knight. John. So listen, we're gonna revisit that now. If you feel so inclined to bookend The Dark Knight with Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises, you are more than welcome to do that. We'll probably touch on them in some capacity during our rewatch conversation, but it's not. You don't have to. So, John, will you watch all 3 movies before next week, or do you think you're just gonna watch The Dark Knight?
I think I'm going to try. I'm going to try because it's been some time since I saw them. I remember I really did enjoy them. Even Dark Knight Rises, I remember enjoying that in the theater. So I think I'm going to give it a go. But yeah, like you said, Dark Knight considered one of the best like kind of superhero movies, right? Like so, it'd be interesting to watch that and then follow it up with The Batman. And see how it goes. I think we've got some heat on this Knight's Tale versus 10 Things. I'm not going to throw a poll up because I think we should watch the 2 movies and see. Look at Rob's face. Rob's going to be away that week.
I am.
So we'll get some substitutions in, and we will do Knight's Tale versus 10 Things I Hate About You. There's a new 10 Things I Hate About You TV series I think on now.
The longer we talk about this, I have 11 things I hate about you, John.
11? Can you list them? With your boy Jordan Joseph Levitt or Joseph Jordan?
Wait, what? Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon Levitt. Yeah. All right.
You look really unsure.
I was double checking in my brain.
And when
I still don't know if it's right.
Yeah. Oh,
all right, Rob. Anything you're watching that the people should watch maybe before we sign off here?
So you know what? I actually this past weekend I watched like 4 movies. So
if you guys are watching anything, drop in the comments now.
I watched.
Go ahead.
I watched Snake Eyes on Paramount Plus. I watched. I watched Uncharted in the theaters. I watched the King's Man on Disney Plus.
Strike 2.
And I watched.
Did you strike out 3 times?
No, I watched this movie out of Denmark called Riders of the Storm. No, Riders of Justice. I was that stupid.
Isn't that the same name that you just said Point Break was called? No. And coincidentally, you watch a movie with the same title? That seems crazy.
No, it's Riders of Justice. It's with Mads Mikkelsen. You know, he was in Casino Royale. He was in Doctor Strange, the first movie. Like, you would know Mads Mikkelsen. Anyways, it's out of his native Denmark. So it's on Crave right now. So if you have the Crave app or a subscription, you should definitely watch it. Just be forewarned, it's obviously not in English, it's with subtitles, but man, it is one hell of a movie, and it's definitely something I would recommend people watch.
It's everything called Riders on this.
Yeah,
I'm watching on what's left, Amazon Prime, Riders of the Storm.
I did watch something else. I watched another something. Can't remember what it was. What about you, John? What have you been watching then?
Yeah, so I didn't watch Kingsman, so I think I avoided that bullet. I remember seeing the trailer and going, that looks like a piece of trash. So I did start Fistful of Vengeance. I wasn't feeling it, but I think I'm going to have to go back to it. I do like all those performances, so hopefully it'll be good. I'm watching Bel Air. So if anyone else is out there is watching Bel Air, hit me up on the comments or on my socials. I'm loving this show. It's on Peacock, but you can watch it on Stack TV via Amazon Prime extension. And I did watch some Cuphead. If anyone watched Cuphead, it's really different. It's kind of funny. So let's see, Kingsman. Yeah, so some people are saying Kingsman. Fraser says Kingsman wasn't that bad. Kingsman. Maybe he watched a different movie. Was it called Riders of the Storm, perhaps?
It might have been. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the. And it's so funny. I asked my son, "Hey, do you want to watch this?" And he was like, "Maybe." And then he just said, "No, I'm playing NHL with my friends." And I'm really glad he didn't, because he probably would have like smacked me in the head with a ruler.
The problem is, I remember Kingsman 1 was okay. It was decent.
It was fun, man.
I loved it. Yeah, it was good ish. And then now it's spawned like 2-3 more movies. Like, this is nuts that they're allowing them to carry on like this. And if you've read the comic is meh. But anyway.
Yeah.
So Gordon looks like Gordon is watching Fistful of Vengeance.
What is that? Why does it sound so familiar?
It's the movie follow-up to Wu Assassins.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So Louis Tan, Aiko, and whole Juju.
You say you turned it off because you were.
I turned it off. At the very beginning, unfortunately, I guess one of the cast members couldn't return, so they killed somebody off screen. So I was kind of like, "Oh man, that's tight." So I had to fire it up again later. But the martial arts did look really pretty strong, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So good luck. If anyone hasn't seen Snake Eyes, looks like Rob does not recommend it. I don't know if I can properly recommend it unless you're just curious. Steve Swin, King of Fighters, Raiders of the Storm. All right, so this Raiders of the Storm joke is not going away, Rob. So next week, look forward to Dark Knight, Raiders of the Storm. I think
that's it.
Yeah. All right, so
cool. I feel like there's another movie I watched, but shit, if I can remember what the hell it was.
Well, it couldn't have been that good. Was it Licorice Pizza?
No. I did watch Power of the Dog last week.
Oh, I heard that was a big deal, right?
It's not. I was bored silly. Listen, and it's up for like a whack of awards. And good on those fine people for putting all their love and heart and soul into that movie. And I'm sure you all, the people who watched, you made it, were happy with it. I was just bored.
Exactly. I told you that Oscars list is a list of movies that it gives me a good list of movies to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a couple other ones like I do want to watch. I was hoping to watch one tonight, but I won't. But Coda on Apple TV Plus. That's next on my watch list. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, again for joining us. If you don't follow us on the audio, this does get uploaded to our audio feed. So Spotify, iTunes, if you want to listen on the go, the video does also get uploaded to Spotify. You can give us a 5-star rating there. Trying to get the algorithms for that up. But thank you for joining us, folks. We are live every Monday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you haven't joined us in the live chat, it's a hell of fun. Thank you, everybody. That was awesome. Look at this. It's still going crazy. It's hard to close the show because there's just so much going on in the chat. So we're always kind of like, we're watching everything scroll by and we're like, do we keep going? But we got to go. Rob's got to walk the dog. I'm sure you guys got other things to do on Family Day. For you guys also in Ontario. Hope you enjoyed your Family Day. And we're back to work tomorrow. So fun times. We'll see you guys later in the week when we figure out what we're doing. Any parting words, Rob?
No, may the Schwartz be with you. I'll take what Scott just said. There we go.